All right, well, here's a headline this morning. The U.S. is, quote, on the right path to a better relationship with the Muslim world. These words from President Obama this morning as he traveled through Indonesia. Meanwhile, positive reaction coming out of the Muslim world in India to comments that Mr. Obama made on Jihad this Sunday. Here he is. This has gotten a lot of attention, this particular soundbite. So here he is answering a question that was posed to him during a town hall event at a college in India. Take a look.
What is your take or opinion about jihad?
The phrase jihad has a lot of meanings within Islam, and is subject to a lot of different interpretations. I think all of us recognize that this great religion, in the hands of a few extremists, has been distorted to justify violence towards innocent people that is never justified. I think all of us have to fundamentally reject the notion that violence is a way to mediate our differences.
All right, there's the statement that got a lot of attention. Juan Williams joins me now, Fox News political analyst. Juan, what was your reaction to that statement? Did you think he did a good job handling that question or not?
I think it depends on the audience, Martha. I think for the audience that he was speaking to in India and in the rest of the Islamic world, it was effective because he made it clear that this is not a he does not feel anger towards Islam. He still regards it as a great religion, a religion of peace, but he said it has been distorted by the extremists. But to the American audience, Martha, I think when he said there's no way that you can justify violence against innocents, it opened up the question, well, I guess some people don't think that we are innocents when they fly buildings into planes, and they think that anybody who's an American is somehow, therefore, guilty of something. And the question is, exactly what is it that we have done that would allow them, in their minds, using Islam to justify attacks on Americans?
Yeah, I think everyone understands the sort of hesitation and deliberation that he took in answering that question in the environment that he was in. That is to be sure. But then I go back to the question wasn't, what is the meaning of the Muslim religion in the world? The question was, what is your opinion of jihad? It was also an opportunity for the President of the United States to say that the Muslim religion and many people who practice it have perhaps not done enough to denounce these acts of violence. Was that a missed opportunity on his part?
Well, I think it was, in the sense that, as you put it, he could have used that opportunity to say, we need people to stand up and denounce the people who, in fact, use Islam as a means to connect with God and to express their belief in peace and common humanity, the highest aspirations of Islam. We need those people to stand up very clearly and condemn what the jihadists are doing. Now, jihad comes, of course, from the Quran, and so people have this concept that you are warring against infidels and all the rest. And I think that for him to have expressly said, this is, a distortion, begins to speak to that concept. The missed opportunity was not in expressly saying, we need more people to stand up and not tolerate this. It can't just be the Western world taking on the jihadists. It has to be people who are at the heart of Islam.
And what about the opportunity that was also presented there to say, at home in my country, in the United States, people are worried about this. We've had a number of, thank God, failed attacks. We've had packages, that were headed for our shores. We've had an attempt in Times Square, an attempt on Christmas Day. We have the rise of al-Qaeda in Yemen. So you can understand, audience here, how my people in the United States feel about this. I mean, I think that's where some of this controversy, and we heard it all over, the opinion shows last night, where some of this controversy is coming from and this frustration.
Well, I think, again, it goes back to this concept I was talking to you about earlier, Martha. It depends on the audience. And I think this is a speech and the questions, the whole trip, has intense focus from the Muslim world. They are very interested in seeing where the president stands, given that the kind of comments he made a year ago, just after he was inaugurated. You remember the famous speech in the Middle East? Where he stands on these issues. But for the audience at home, it was the missed opportunities that stand out in terms of saying to the Islamic world, you guys have to do a better job of restraining these violent jihadists. But for, I think, many people in the Islamic world, to hear the president say and reaffirm the idea, once expressed by President Bush, that this is not a war against Islam, played very well.
Well, certainly the people in Mumbai are well familiar with the modern-day meaning of jihad, I would say, given their own experiences. Juan,
that's why they asked the question.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Juan, thank you very much. Always good
You're
to
welcome,
see you, sir.
Martha.
We'll see you soon. Juan Williams.